Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of New Strength Sugar Babes. We've got a sugar babe from New Zealand, Melanie. She has two kids, 7 and 8, two boys. We were just talking about that and the trials and tribulations of having kids and whether or not I should have bloody kids. I'm sure it's challenging but rewarding at the same time. Yeah. My sister always says, she's like, Kitty, it's hard, but I'd never take it back. I'd never.
You'd never put them back. Yeah.
And so tell the viewers, why did you join? Because you've been in Win It Life for quite a while now.
Yeah, so I started by stalking you on Facebook for quite a long time and did the free things, and then I started with the Buff Challenge, and actually, thankfully, I had a girls' trip that fell through, and I had the money from the girls' trip, and I put that towards joining Win It Life. And I think the major for me was seeing all the women talk about how much success they'd had hormonally. So I had had a hysterectomy 4 years prior to Win It Life, and ever since then I found it really hard to track any kind of hormonal fluctuations and any mood swings, and it kind of got to a point where I was just moody all the time. So that was my big driver, was trying to get that side of me under control. Yeah.
And had you done many tried other things prior to joining?
Not purely for my hormones. I'd kind of like dabbled around with different over-the-counter products. One that gave me such severe stomach cramps I thought I had like food poisoning or something until I figured out it was the tablets. I've obviously, I tried every diet under the sun for aesthetic purposes, but I hadn't really looked at the food, versus hormones kind of thing.
Well, I think so many of us, like I didn't understand the link between them.
Yeah.
And I think a really common theme, it's not every woman that comes into our program has done all of the diets, but a lot of us had tried so many of the low calorie, quick fix diets to set you up with these metabolic issues, but you don't understand it. You don't, because obviously in the media, everyone's like, you should cut sugar and you should cut dairy and you should cut this, but that's actually things that's causing the issues long term. How old are you?
36.
36, yeah. And I think too, like you can do it when you're younger, like in your 20s. And then as you get into your, like me, when I was like 34, when I found this, it was starting to get worse. Obviously as you get into your 40s and 50s, it's even worse. What diets had you tried before?
What diets had I tried? Well, I had done the sugar-free, like completely sugar-free, to the point where I wasn't eating any fruit. I was making my own sauces, like hardcore sugar-free. I've done keto, done intermittent fasting. I had done some macro planning before with a nutritionist, and that had actually gone quite well. So I did have that background before I started. But there was no information about what foods to eat. It was just, here's your protein, carbs and fat split, go from there. So I was eating anything to get that protein up, and didn't think about drinking juices and stuff. So I was stuffed all the time. So I think I've probably done the majority of them out there. Done Weight Watchers, I don't know, you name it, I've probably done it. I did the soup diet once with my parents too, and that was horrendous. I cried the whole weekend. I just wanted some food.
I don't blame you. And did you manage to lose weight on those diets?
Yeah, I lost on all of them, but I put it all back on again. So nothing had been that consistent slow loss that stayed off. Yeah.
And I think too, like they're just never sustainable. And I think you nailed it when you said that they don't teach you. So they just tell you, they give you a diet plan. So you lose weight and you finish, and then you're like, well, I don't know what to eat now. My issues are worse. I've lost weight, but I'm just going to stack it all back on. How long have you been in the program?
It must be coming up a year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. All right. We'll talk about the results. Like what results have you seen in 12 months?
Well, I'm not a bitch anymore.
Well, that's good. Your husband must be glad.
Yeah, he's quite happy. Yeah. Actually, like going to bed on time now too. So. It's always a bonus. And then a lot of the results too were that my weight has stayed the same, but all my clothes, obviously, they all fit better. The muscle mass has stayed. So I haven't just lost weight and gone, oh, well, I'm still soft. I've lost the weight and gained the muscle as well. So that's obviously been a big benefit. I really struggled trying to gain any upper body strength before this as well. And I think just having that set training to slowly build that strength has really helped to keep that upper body strength there. Whereas before I was doing like burpees and stupid crap like that that are no fun.
Oh, I know, right? But that you think that you should be doing to lose weight.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone tells you
exactly.
do cardio.
Oh, I can do 50 burpees in 3 minutes. Well, whoopee for you. But
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And how many calories are you eating?
I've just dropped down a little bit because I had surgery, so I haven't been training. So I was up to 2,300, I think.
Wow.
And I've just dropped down to just on 2.2 or just below 2.2.
Isn't that incredible? And you're losing weight, not starving yourself. What sort of foods are you eating?
I'm a real stickler for routine, and so I eat the same breakfast, lunch, snacks, and everything every day. So I have eggs on sourdough with sweetened condensed milk in my coffee and orange juice and liver every morning. And then I have my carrot salad and apple and cheese and fudge for morning tea. And then I have whatever, I usually cook a whole lot of chicken in the crock pot. Then I'll have chicken and fruit, or if it's a starchy day that I'm feeling okay, I'll have chicken and rice or noodles, something like that. Yeah, lots of spices for afternoon tea, and then it's usually some form of meat and potatoes for dinner.
God, I just love food.
Fudge again before breakfast. I have fudge twice a day.
I had like 5 bits yesterday. Some days it's such a good, I just love it,
Yeah,
and the binge eating's gone now because I know that I can just eat fudge every day if I want.
Yeah.
And you actually fuel your body. And who does your diet for you?
In what way? Like
who writes your diet plan for you every week?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
So do you feel that you have the skills and knowledge now to do your own diet? Yeah.
Generally, I've got to a point now where generally I don't need to input anything until kind of like afternoon tea time. And then I just need to put dinner in and tweak a couple of things at dinner. But usually I know what I need to have when, and that just, the day just kind of carries on like that.
Wow. And do you feel free now? You've got the knowledge and the freedom with the food?
Yeah, it's good because, at first, and I guess anyone that starts doing something like this, it can feel quite restrictive because you're trying to hit these numbers all the time and it can get a little bit stressful. But once you learn how to hit those numbers and what works for you, it just kind of carries on. It's only the very start when you get really confused and especially if you've never done any macro planning before, that it can feel a bit controlling. But then after that, like I said, I don't plan anything anymore until afternoon tea when I come home from work, and I will chuck everything in really quickly and go, oh, well, I might need to have a little bit more of the chicken for dinner because it's a bit lower or something like that.
I think too, the great thing is once you get to your goal, I'll have times where I just eat mindfully. You don't always have to track anymore because you've got that knowledge now. If you ever go out, do you feel confident to make choices when you're out and what to eat?
Yeah, I always make sure we go somewhere that's got steak, so it's nice and easy. But my husband doesn't care. He's happy, so.
Everyone loves steak. Yeah. I think it's really easy to eat out too.
Yeah.
It's just protein, potatoes, rice, juice, fruit. Yeah. It's a really easy way to eat. Oh, that's so awesome. And so what about if how's your hormonal imbalances now? Because you mentioned that.
So before I was just completely irrational all the time. So things that would generally stress you out, my reaction to it was way higher than it needed to be. And it just got to a point where I was so grumpy but I didn't know, it was just my state of being, until my husband pointed out and said, look, I'm not trying to be horrible, but you're actually really hard to live with, I don't know what I can and can't say to you without you flying off the handle, or if I can touch you, or, or anything. And the boys were getting in trouble all the time. And he was like, why are you on top of them? They haven't really done anything wrong. And it's like, they have. It's horrible. So that's all come down. Those kind of incidents very rarely happen, and I will notice that if they do happen, it's like I'll click straight away, oh, well, I forgot my produce for a couple of days or something like that. So, and the fix is relatively quick. and simple now.
Mm.
But yeah, no, the fluctuations have definitely dropped, which is the winner, because that was what I came for. So
Oh, awesome. It's so good. Yeah. I think, it's, you need to, like, I always say, do a virus check, like, I think you can be, I don't know, I got in trouble saying this the other day, but about emotional, like being emotional because your blood sugar's low and your hormones are out of balance. Like once that's all fixed, it's much easier
yeah,
to cope with stress and you don't lose your shit at the drop of a hat,
yeah,
over stuff that's probably, it's not that big a deal.
yeah.
And I think women don't realize the connection there.
Mm,
So that's so awesome. And, when women come into the program, and I'm sure you probably would have been the same, they're always worried about doing it online, especially the training component.
yeah.
How have you found doing the program online?
I have found it's been really easy. I was lucky enough that I've done my personal training papers, so I've already been in and out of gym quite a lot. But I mean, I thought that I could squat and deadlift fine, and
Mm.
then with the tweaks that Jake gave me, I was like, it makes so much more sense. So no, it's been really good. My lifting has improved so much more than what I was getting before coming in, and there's no I never really had any real fear of hurting myself or
Mm.
of doing something so wrong, because you didn't progress so fast that
Mm.
if you weren't lifting correctly, you were going to throw you back out, or or something like that. The progressions were really good for what level you were at.
Mm.
And yeah, no, all the feedback made heaps of sense, and the videos made sense. So I didn't feel it was a problem at all. I did, yeah, it was one thing that I was kind of hesitant about, because I've
Mm.
always been in that physical environment with someone there. But no, it turned out it was fine.
Mm. Yeah, I think too, like Craig's done up a lot of new programs now, we as long as you've got dumbbells, you can do a program just from dumbbells. And I think it's about just starting where you're at and then
Yeah,
slowly progressing from there and slowly getting stronger over time. And I think that's the key. Like a lot of women it's not a quick fix, but it's absolutely
yeah,
sustainable. Like you've spent 12 months doing this and
yeah,
you've lost all this body fat and you're looking toned, your hormonal issues are gone, you understand food, and you're going to stay that way now. You can
yeah.
easily maintain it. And I think that's the key. Yeah, and it's understandable that women are worried about doing it online. And how did you find the support and, getting, because obviously you live in New Zealand, so you're not in Australia
Yeah,
with us.
yeah,
How did you
yeah.
find the online support and platforms?
So no, the platforms are really good. I found them really easy to use, but I other than not being able to work my phone, I'm not too technologically retarded. But no, it was good, because even though I knew that there's obviously a little bit of a time difference, I just kept that in my mind when I'd flicked through a message. But generally, things were answered pretty smartly. And there was always, if you weren't getting a response somewhere, there's always another platform you can ask on. So like if it was a real general question that didn't specifically need Jake or April to answer about training or something along those lines, then you've got all those women in the Facebook page as well. And they're not all in Australia, obviously. So you get people that would answer you straight away in there. So there's just so many different ways that you could get knowledge from and get your answer and get that support.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. The community is quite amazing, actually. I
Yeah.
think that's a real benefit to this program is it's that community that
Yeah.
supports you along the way. And if a woman was watching this and, because I get a lot of women that they're like, oh, I'm really skeptical and, this
Yeah.
is going to be another diet program that I fail at. What
Yeah.
would you say to them?
I guess at the end of the day, there's no harm in trying, is there? I mean, you're not going to lose anything by trying. And you never know until you do try. And I was skeptical for a long time. I was kind of like, oh, wow, I've done keto, I've done all these other things. What is actually going to be different about this? And I think, like you said, with that amazing community, that is the point of difference. You have got all these women that will back you up 100%, and they will always lift you up. And I just think if you have got the guts to put yourself out there and to put yourself first, you just do it.
Mm. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Because I know that you're busy. And if you're a woman and you're watching this, we've just recently released all our brand new programs. So we've been you've asked and we've listened, and we've created a brand new nutrition only program, brand new training only program. You can do a combination of both. We've got 3, 6 and 12-month options with some awesome bonuses in there as well. So just you can click on the link and have a look at all of those options. So thanks again, Mel. I really appreciate it, and let you get back to your day, and I'll talk to you in the program.
Lunchtime.
I know, I'm hungry too, actually. It's nearly
Yeah. All that talk about food.
Yay to eating.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye.